So when it comes to affording college, it's not just about student loans. There are grants, scholarships, and other money available, money you don't need to pay back.
Our next guest says saving on tuition starts early, very early. Please welcome Secret Savings contributor Carey Reilly. Carey, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
I'm excited to talk to you because I'm all over the place. I'm like 529, high yield, high dividend. You know, thankfully there are options because we know college is expensive. And you've been working with families for years, strategizing how to save money. And you say there's actually some places we're overlooking.
Absolutely. You know, and I've been doing this for years, but I've been doing it because I made my own mistakes with my first daughter. So sometimes that's just how you can start mastering something, is by making mistakes. And there isn't a magic way to really save money on college. It really comes down to that application. They call it a Common App. That's where you put in your information that gets sent to colleges. And one of the biggest ways to beef that up is to, you know, really have your student get deep into their activities, show leadership initiative, impact in their communities. It's not all about grades.
Yeah, so that's what you say. You have to make your application stand out, right?
Yes, yes, yes. You have to have that application stand out. You know, as I said before, have your student find a problem in their community and then go ahead and find that solution and then build something around it. You know, treat it like a mini startup, that initiative they're going to start. Create a name, a logo, maybe a social media account, T-shirts, you know, have them get involved. My son started something called Athletes for Good, and that creates volunteer opportunities for athletes in our community. And it really is making an impact. And we're about to see how that's going to, you know, pan out when it comes to college applications.
Yeah. Back in my day, it was about joining the club, right? You wanted to seem like you're a well-rounded student, but now you actually have to create the club?
Yeah, you have to create the club, but I say that in a real authentic way of creating the club. You know, don't just look at it like this is a strategy for college. You can actually change a lot of students' lives in this way. I've seen kids that are, by creating an impact in their community, it impacted them. It impacted who they are. I have a student, she created something called Manny's for Grannies. Her name is Ariana Grossman, out of Glenridge High School. And she completely changed into this incredible boss girl, kind of a student. And it really changed the trajectory of where she went to school. She's at Marist College now.
Wow. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, because I'm assuming, though, schools look at it and say anybody can join a club. Right. But
yeah, they do. 100%. Anybody can join a club. This is what they want to know. Are you impacting your community? Is there growth? Is there leadership? How much time have you spent? How many hours? How many weeks? How many months? How many years? They don't want to see that your student is joining a club senior year. It kind of looks like you just did a grab to get into a club.
Yeah, like a
bucket
list.
But there is a way for these kids. These kids are brilliant nowadays. They can literally change communities.
Yeah, I love that. So which schools, though, give the most scholarships?
Yeah, so it depends. You know, right now there's a huge TikTok trend. These kids are watching TikTok and where they want to go to school. And the South is really having a moment here. But, you know, when you look at these big state schools in other states that you don't live in, they're not necessarily interested in giving you a lot of money to go to their state. Typically, these state schools have to cap it at 18% how many kids they let in from out of state. So not only has the acceptance rate gone down for you as an out-of-state applicant, but they're not necessarily going to give you the most amount of money. So I would look at those liberal arts schools that are private schools with great endowments, those smaller schools. That's where I've been able to see huge merit scholarships from 25, 30,000 and up. And that's not for the kid that's going to ace it all with a 1500 SAT. These are for kids creating impact, great, you know, good grades, A, B, but a really well-rounded application that tells an incredible story of who they are in their community.
Right. So bottom line here, you really have to start early. You have to research really before you hit that submit.
Absolutely. I start with kids when they're 14 years old, freshman year. Let's get going. I know. But, you know, it's not just like starting them like, let's get your college application going. Let's figure out what you're passionate about. What do you like? And it could start as a little seedling. Like I mentioned before, the Manny's for Grannies, where she went into nursing homes, did manicures for elderly people. She loved painting nails, and that's where her initiative started. So it can be something as simple as that.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Nice for Grady's. That's
Yes,
a great idea.
such great advice. Carey, great to see you. Thanks so much for taking the time to spend with us.